Welcome into the Dallas Cowboys Report. Tom Downey here, as always, at home edition because it was my off day, but you guys know how NFL free agency and the start of the new league year always goes. Massive NFL news everywhere. Deshaun Watson, Max Crosby, Bobby Wagner stuff, which we'll get to. But the news, first and foremost, 5 players have been cut by the Dallas Cowboys. Wide receiver Robert Foster, a backup practice squad guy. Running back Ito Smith, 2 players who really weren't going to likely make the roster this year for Dallas. Blake Jarwin waived injured. More on what that means coming up in a minute. Cornerback Reggie Robinson, the 4th round pick in 2020. He has been cut in a bit of a surprise. And the kicker has been cut by the Dallas Cowboys. I guess now I can go ahead and say his name since he's gone. Greg Zuerlein's time is over with the Dallas Cowboys. So we're going to break down all 5 guys, plus talk some about Bobby Wagner with various reports coming out in the last half hour or so. But first off, type me if you're glad the Cowboys cut the kicker, a move that saves almost $2.5 million in salary cap space. All these moves actually get the Cowboys under the cap on the eve of the new league year. We'll talk some more about why that timing's going down as well. But type me if you guys are glad the Cowboys cut the kicker. I am glad because he wasn't doing that great of a job. He just was a below league average player. I'm actually surprised the Cowboys cut him. I had thought they would keep him on the roster and let him compete for his job. Clearly, this means the Cowboys are fully prepared to move on. Also wonder why I didn't have better insurance policies mid-season last year, but we digressed. At this point, it is what it is. I am a bit surprised the Cowboys cut him with the timing of everything. Part of it is to get under the salary cap. I think they'll go cheaper at the position. That could mean a late-round draft pick. That could mean a different free agent. After all, they found Brian Anger for basically the vet minimum last year, a player who ended up having a borderline all-pro year and was a Pro Bowler for the Dallas Cowboys. You'll be able to find a kicker. You can find one cheap. You don't have to invest. And most importantly, my anti-kicker and punter propaganda has never been about not having a good one or a decent one or a great one. It's about not investing at a position that historically has lots of turnover, lots of change, lots of inconsistency, and you can find good players. Competition is king for me when it comes to special teams, so go sign 2 UDFAs and let the best man win that job. So what is your one-word reaction to Greg Zuerlein being cut here by the Dallas Cowboys? One word only. If you get the ad break here on YouTube, I want you guys to take advantage of it. If the ad plays, head down there. Let me know. One word only to the Cowboys cutting Greg Zuerlein. Let's talk about the tight end now, Blake Jarwin. This is a waived injured designation. Now, allow me to explain what exactly is going on here. As I'm sure you guys know, because you're all subscribed, right? Blake Jarwin has a hip injury that has thrown his entire NFL career into question. It's not known at this point if he will ever play again in the NFL. Now, if he does get claimed on the waived injured list, the Cowboys would save all of his base salary. They don't owe him anything, but no one is going to do that since I doubt he plays this year. That move would save them $3.85 million or so. There's some extra change involved there. They have to pay the rest of his signing bonus that was paid out over the lifetime of the up to 5 years of his contract when he signed it. Blah, blah, blah. Nerd math stuff. As of right now, the expectation is the team has to pay him $2 million of his $4.5 million salary. Only $1.2 million of which would count against the salary cap. There's injury protection benefits for players in this exact situation. Jarwin has to apply for that. I think it's pretty reasonable to assume he would get all of that. So if my math is right, which we'll see if it is, I'm pretty sure it is though, the Cowboys will save $2.65 million in total salary cap space. So they're not as much as they could have saved, the $3.85 without the injury, but he's hurt, so, it kind of is what it is at that point for the Cowboys. But they would save about $2.65. They save just under $2.5 with the cutting of Greg Zuerlein. That then gets them into position under the salary cap before the start of the new league year as they bide their time to see what they're going to do with Amari Cooper, trade or cut. They don't have to make that call until March 20th-ish. Will they get a Michael Gallup deal done, a Randy Gregory deal done? I would wonder if they'll drag this out as long as possible to figure out what moves they have to make. I don't think it's a locked and loaded, they cut Cooper, they trade Cooper, whatever. Moving more towards like he gets traded, we'll see. It's trade buzz. If it leaks, it might mean things aren't going all that great. I mean, no one heard the leaks of the Russell Wilson Carson Wentz trade after all. Those just kind of happened. But we'll see. There will be more news coming around the Dallas Cowboys, and you guys know we'll break it down for you. So if you haven't already, subscribe. I know there are no fancy graphics today. I'm at home. I got the baby duties, but she's asleep right now, so we're in the clear there. Still want to do a video for you. So if you haven't already, subscribe. Free videos every single day. We had one go out this morning. We've got 2 going out Saturday, 2 going out Sunday, and potentially more if there's even more chaos around the Dallas Cowboys. There will be news coming. It's going to be a busy off season here for America's team. So if you haven't already, subscribe right now. All right, the other 3 cuts. Reggie Robinson next up here. I actually am surprised by this one. Did not think he was going to get cut so quickly. I think there's a Will McClay pick. That was his guy. Regime changes have occurred already for the Dallas Cowboys on the defensive side of the football. Robinson has barely played. They drafted him as a corner. The Mike Nolan regime was like, well, maybe he's a safety. And then the new regime was like, nah, he's a corner. And then he gets hurt and he doesn't play. And it was more of an injury stash. And now he's been released. Maybe he comes back. That's a bit unlikely. Players who get cut in March end up going elsewhere. He can sign whenever, just like Zuerlein can sign at any point. Cowboys don't have that many, really don't have a big need at corner. You've got Trayvon Diggs, you've got Kelvin Joseph, you've got Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, no particular order. You've still got CJ Goodwin, Maurice Kennedy's a free agent, and Deshaun Wright, of course. So Robinson, if the Cowboys didn't make other moves at corner, was already facing a bit of an uphill battle to make the roster. Cowboys pull that Band-Aid off now. He is gone, and I would not assume he comes back. So do you like cutting Reggie Robinson? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. The other 2 cuts, Ito Smith, who was kind of a back end of the season addition, practice squatter, doesn't really mean that much. You're going to get Rico Dowdle back in theory healthy, and shoot, Jaquan Hardy actually kind of flashed a little bit for you, along with Corey Clement, who's also a free agent. So Smith wasn't going to make this roster. He was maybe going to be a preseason guy just to fill out the back end of that 90-man roster. He's been cut, along with Robert Foster. Foster has played some in the NFL, just like Ito Smith has. Nothing majorly consistent in recent years. Flashed briefly with the Buffalo Bills. He was always behind guys like Simi Fehoko, behind guys like Noah Brown even on this roster. Some of your guys' favorite player, TJ Vasher too. Vertical threat. He's not going to come back, is what it is. Not really going to upset me too much in any capacity. All right, let's wrap today's show then with some Bobby Wagner conversation. For a fun little 15 minutes on Cowboys Twitter today when Ed Warner says the Cowboys have called Bobby Wagner. They've spoken with him. No talks on the contract side of things. And then Clarence Hill says the Cowboys are not going to be involved in that negotiation whatsoever. And then Jane Slater says, yeah, it's just, link yourself to the Cowboys for negotiating purposes. I don't think he's going to sign. I don't think he's coming to Dallas. It's just not how they do business. They don't spend big money on good football players. And given my current thoughts of this team is kind of positioning themselves maybe more so to go all in 2023 than they are in 2022, I'm not going to get my hopes up for Bobby Wagner. But what do you guys think? Be honest with me in the comments. The percent chance the Cowboys sign Bobby Wagner. Drop a number for me right now in the comments. And if you haven't already, please do me that favor and subscribe. Free videos every single day. Normally with fancy graphics, not today. Just wanted to get the news out as quick as possible as opposed to me driving into the office, getting set up while they're doing their Raiders stuff for Max Crosby and maybe some Deshaun Watson news as well. But again, free videos, the ones with graphics, coming on Saturday and Sunday and beyond. So if you haven't already, please, please, please subscribe and, help me feed my family.